Today, we're looking at even more apologies, and this time they were made by streamers. They're gonna be ranked all the way from adequate, which is like okay, all the way to actual lunatic, implying that the person apologizing isn't in their right mind. And let me tell you, this gets crazy. Speaking of going crazy, let's start it off with FuzzyTube. He was recently, among many other things, under fire for allegedly joining the Mile High Club with an intoxicated sex traffic victim. It's a very weird situation, and even if his claims about just saying that for content are true, he should still have acted differently. He apologized while sitting in his Tesla, which really makes you sympathize with him. And if you don't already feel sorry for Fuzzy, you definitely will after he starts holding a puppy. The only things missing are fake tears and an ukulele. All in all, this is an awful situation, and Fuzzy needs some help. Next up is Bad Bunny, which you probably know from this famous clip.
How that results in 0 subs. There are regulars here. $5 a month!
There have been many more instances of her being a horrible person, and for that, she rightfully received some backlash. Kira took to Twitter to apologize, but I don't think you can even call this an apology. Awful. Moving on to... Bro, this one's fucked up. I'm just gonna do the worst ones at the end, I need to be mentally prepared. Let's rather continue with a more recent one, as we've got Nat. Currently, the biggest streamer decided to host a giveaway in the middle of New York without telling any of the officials or considering what this many people showing up at the same time could do. What happened was essentially a riot full of kids wanting Amazon gift cards. It got to the point when Kai had to escape in his car. This one's really wanted their V-Bucks apparently. He took to a live stream to apologize where he seemed to be sorry for what he did.
I am beyond, bro, disappointed.
Okay, in all seriousness, Kai took responsibility and acknowledged that it was all just a miscommunicated bad idea. Keeping up with some of the biggest streamers, we got the jschlatt himself, XQC. He used to actually be a professional Overwatch player and was involved in quite a few controversies. After a long day of practicing, Felix went home and played some ranked games on his own, when he got extremely tilted. Wait, that happened almost every day. But this one time, he picked an overall hero and stopped participating in the game, which is not how a person representing an orc should act. He went inside his cardboard castle and decided to publicly apologize. His actions were very immature and toxic, but Felix handled it well. Surely this taught him a lesson and he didn't do anything stupid ever again. Coming up next is a horrible human being that goes by the name of We Found the Body. That's actually kinda fitting for this scenario. John was streaming when he noticed that a chat member appeared after quite a while. Smaller streamers usually know their chatters, so he asked them why they were gone. After the chatter explained that they have been dealing with the passing of their mom, the streamer fucking snapped. He started going off about how such negativity will not be allowed in his chat and that she shouldn't have even answered his question honestly. Obviously, he then made an apology video where he basically just doubled down on his take. He even thanked someone for following him. Just an awful person. Following him is Valkyrie. She received complaints for saying, "No cap on a stack, for real for real." The phrase originates from African American culture and that apparently means it's racist if you say it. Valkyrie gave in to the pressure from people spending too much time online and decided to make an apology video, bringing even more attention to the already unnecessary drama. She was really serious about it, like without context you would have thought she said the hardest R in history, but no, it was just this phrase. I just love how everyone was baffled about her even apologizing for this. Next up, we've got this dude.
What's up YouTube, this is M11173 here today. I'm here with my apology video. I'd like to apologize for my 24-hour suspension from Twitch. It's not a big deal, I mean it kinda is, but it's only a 24-hour, I was jerking off, a lot of people do it, was rubbing one out. Hope you can forgive me and we can move on from this. I'm gonna bounce back. Peace out, YouTube.
I forgive you, man. Things just happen sometimes. Oopsie daisy. Coming up next is IShowMeat. Sorry, Speed. To be honest, he makes one of these apologies about once a week, but he was a bit less into it when he was called out for his scams. He went live together with Walmart Ronaldo, promoting a scam crypto coin to his mostly underage audience. I just love how even these toddlers were able to see that it's a scam. Speed only apologized when he was called out for it, and even then tried to shift the blame away from him. He obviously knew what he did, but he never outright said it or apologized for it. It was more like, oh no, I made a mistake, this isn't me guys, you know, I'm better than this, just trust me bro. Zilian OP was a streamer that was once involved in a car accident which left him in a wheelchair. It was just like any other stream when viewers witnessed what can only be described as a miracle. The streamer stood up and left, just like I thought my head out. He later explained that he was indeed involved in an accident, but when he recovered, he just kept streaming with the wheelchair. This was scummy and he didn't even apologize on his own. Speaking of miracles, it's impressive that Delor hasn't lost it yet. He's a streamer known for raging and breaking stuff. This particular instance of him breaking a keyboard on his own head got him banned on Twitch. He of course followed it up with an apology video and he even dressed for the occasion. Delor promised to improve, and despite his rough upbringing and mental struggles, he gives it his best. Moving on to another crazy person, we've got Dantes, who apologized to Riot Games and Twitch for not being brand friendly.
One of the things I got most well known for was saying that I wanted to fuck Yordles. And in response, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Yordles have such a tight body, supple, firm breasts, wide mouths that can fit anything inside of them. In the wise words of Corky, I'm coming.
Brilliant apology. Next up is Dream, and oh boy, where do I even begin? The biggest controversy directly connected to him was faking a Minecraft speedrun. Dream changed the game's rules so the random events are a little less random and make the speedrun way faster. The odds of everything spawning the way it did were about 1 in 7.5 trillion. I mean, I don't know guys, maybe he was just lucky. When he was eventually called out for it, he refused to submit any real proof but instead paid an actual scientist to come up with some bullshit calculations. 6 long months after the drama, he finally admitted it all in a 3,000 word novel. I ain't reading all that. It essentially boils down to, oops, I left it on by accident, my bad guys. And apparently the only reason he admitted it was because they didn't allow him to submit a new speedrun due to the previous controversy. Please stick to your music, wear that stupid mask, and if anyone watching is under 16, this is his snap. Continuing with the theme of faking speedruns, we've got SuperFatJellyfish. This genius decided to fake his blindfolded Mario 64 speedrun. I know how he thought people wouldn't notice how fake it is just from obviously dodging NPCs. He obviously had to follow this up with an apology where he claimed that it was all a joke guys, just goofing around over here, haha, you got pranked. If only he was as good at speedrunning as he is at lying. Moving on to Alinity, who massively hurt her reputation after abusing the YouTube copyright system. She also got in quite some trouble after feeding her cat vodka and more famously throwing her. But don't worry, the cat got her revenge. And so did the dog. Wait, what the fuck? I don't know if you remember, but around 2018, Alinity was being criticized by mostly everyone. Some of it justified, some of it not. All the drama definitely took a massive toll on her, as she took to stream to talk about all the struggles she has been facing. She was really affected by everything, but still failed to hold herself accountable. Since then, she definitely worked on herself and massively improved her attitude. Next up is Miskif's apology. No, that's not it. Miskif got in a heated argument with another streamer Trainwrecks, who had a little ace up his sleeve. He leaked that Miskif and other streamers tried to cover up a friend sexually assaulting a girl. It turned out to be Adriana Lee, who was massively affected by it. Ice Poseidon, really in a position to do this, also jumped on the trend and leaked Miskif saying some gamer words in private text messages. Afterwards, the streamer was kinda removed from his organization OTK, but not really, and also issued an apology where he regretted the way the assault was handled.
The animals are leaving. The aliens aren't contacting us. We might be alone. It just might be you and me, but that's okay, because do you really need anyone else?
But a sub is $5, and it doesn't matter how broke you are. If you have time to watch Twitch, you have $10.
Yeah, she had a bit of a downfall, did she? Invader Y got in some controversy after trying to shame people into subbing to her. She even tried to argue that supporting the people that provide you entertainment should come before paying for essentials. Guys, the Twitch sub is only $5, so what if that means you can afford dinner tonight? Invader Y obviously had to respond in some way, and she made the most composed apology video I've ever seen. With the way she speaks, she definitely has a bright future in politics. If someone showed me this and said she's apologizing for like, I don't know, the Vietnam War or something, I wouldn't doubt it for a second. Coming up next is the only Irish streamer ever, Minx. Both the internet and her friends were already concerned about her mental well-being, especially after seeking professional help didn't improve things much. Another thing that wasn't helping was her alcoholism. When the streamer rewards came round, she was allowed to come under the condition that she won't drink. Unfortunately, Minx broke her promise and had an alcohol-induced seizure at the after party, which forced it to be shut down. She took to stream to apologize, but she didn't seem to be in a much better state. She has since moved back to the land of potatoes, which seemed to have a good impact on her health. She can only be held accountable so much due to her issues, but judging by the fact friends had to ask her to turn off the stream, her apology wasn't very good. Let's move on to Nadia. Before she did bikini streams, Nadia was famous for allegedly cheating in Call of Duty. Now she played into these allegations and farmed as many social media impressions as she could. Nadia was receiving quite some backlash, but when a person insulted her through a donation for the 4th time, she took revenge. Because the guy donated to her, she was able to see all his informations, so she leaked his full name and she even spelled it out in case someone didn't quite get it. I have to admit, this was pretty smart from her, but she took it a step too far. It would be way better to play it off as a joke, like, oh, you think you're so smart, huh? Charles? Not just reveal his full name in a malicious intent. She even defended herself until Twitch banned her, after which she decided to apologize. Oh, but don't worry, Twitch doesn't treat everyone equally, so she got unbanned after a few hours. Such a joke of a platform. Speaking of Twitch, their CEO once had to go live to apologize for a horrible and money-hungry update that could have even killed the site. Obviously, it was the most PR-friendly thing ever, but they didn't learn one bit and still make their site worse with every new update. Okay, now it's just the bad ones left. Miss Dirty Bird was a Rocket League streamer that faked having cancer. After her sister revealed that it was all lies, the streamer decided to apologize.
I don't know why people that don't even know me hate me.
Yeah, I wonder why. She later followed it up with another video.
This is my official apology video.
And as you can also see in this clip,
That's exactly it. They want me to fucking stop streaming. They don't want me to have a community, all this other shit. So, like, they can actually just go fucking die. Like,
she couldn't care less about her actions. Okay, I think it's time to do this. SMASHGODXXX got into an argument with his girlfriend and proceeded to do this.
Bring me my beer! My beer's right there in the living room, actually.
I'm not fucking your maid, okay?
After the stream came back on, it was pretty clear that he did it with the intention to punch. It was tragic seeing his girlfriend in such a state, especially after she broke down crying. They ended up doing an apology video together to clear the air, when this guy had the audacity to be like, no, it's fine, it was just a slap. No guys, don't worry, I didn't go full WWE, it was just a little punch. I hope they settled the argument and she doesn't feel in any way pressured into staying with him. Oh, but don't worry, it arguably gets even worse. Atriarch was streaming just like any other day when he alt-tabbed, revealing a suspicious looking browser window. People were able to determine that it was a porn site with digitally altered videos that had streamers' faces over the actual actresses. What was even worse was that some of these were his real life friends. Atriarch made an apology video where he tried to play it off as an accident, but there is absolutely nothing he could have said to make it better. He's aware of what he did and has been actively improving himself, but this was one of the worst things he could have done. I can't imagine how horrible it had to feel for these streamers. If you skip to this part of the video to see the results, you should go watch it, you're really missing out. I recommend you watch the TikTokers apology tier list, but I must warn you, they aren't any better.